It's time for the main event. It's the Shoe Shine.
¿Qué onda, vatos locos? It's your boy Dave in the 702 coming back at you for that Monday night boxing recap known as the Shoe Shine. Joining me all the way from the city of brotherly love, Philly Boots Irish Drew Evo. ¿Qué pasa, homie? What's cracking?
What's up, Dave? Gotta say, man, I'm watching, I'm listening, I'm actually looking on Twitter and everything, man, and I just really gotta say, some positive things are going down and everything, and some negative shit.
Oh shit!
A lot more negative shit.
A lot more negative shit on social media, X to be exact, I'm sure. And that's why I just jokingly put it up on X. I said, hey, Clapback Mondays with Drew Evo, because Clapback Thursdays was such a hit for Oscar De La Hoya. Well, shit, why not give my co-host an opportunity to clap back? Lots of boxing news to get through, man. Lots of interesting little fights, you know what I'm saying? There's some big names fought this weekend, like Junto Nakatani. Of course, that fight ended in one round. Did you know Gabe Flores, who was released from Top Rank, sold 5,500 tickets in Stockton? Shout out to the 209. Gabe Flores is still doing his thing, Drew, and with Nonito Donaire. Remember when everyone was like, you got to get your dad out of there. Well, he has his dad, and he got Nonito Donaire, and he's coming up with a win. So shout out to everybody in Stockton, the 209. Just keeping at it. The lightweight division may have a brand new star, and I'm so excited about that, Drew, because we had him on the Shoe Shine 3 years ago. Shout out to Phil LaGreco and, of course, Canada's Lucas Body. KO of the year, Drew. I'm going to play that in just a second here. Of course, Jake Paul fought. I remember a time when nobody wanted to talk about Jake Paul. That is the KO of the year. Well, it very well could be unless we see somebody else face plant.
I have to call somebody out, Dave, for that. I really got to call somebody out for that, because tell you the truth, I believe that this person tried taking away from this dude's performance and everything, and that's the better old man, Rick Glazer.
You're kidding. I did not see anything on that.
Dude, you need to work on your stuff. Let me tell you something. A boxing match can change in an instant, in a second. That dude used his best weapon, his best attributes during the fight, and won the fight because of it. And then you got that douchebag on there taken away from his win.
I did not see that. I did not see him post anything on that.
Bitter old man that he is. He's a bitter old fucking man, and he should shut the fuck up.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and play that. Damn the copyrights, because we're going to react off of that anyways. But here it is anyways. We're reacting off that. Drew, he had been losing every single round up until that 6 rounds. Obviously, the younger 20-year-old versus 30-year-old prospect, Lucas, we interviewed him when he was 27. He could not catch a break. He could not get a fight in the U.S. He couldn't travel to the U.S., right? He couldn't.
What's the poster game series? Like, can you, I don't know, like, I mostly play fighting games and everything, so yeah, elaborate a little bit to me on that one. But here's the thing, man. Like, we had Chavez Jr. on the card, man, and he looked like shit. Like, I'll tell you, man, Chavez, and now they're trying to bring up, him and Jake Paul need to fight for a title. Shut the fuck up. You guys
really, Drew, that is crazy. Nando said that because guess what? I've been saying for a long time that I'm not surprised if that fight's going to come into fruition. Now we see Chavez Jr. weighing 200 pounds. We see him after a 2-year layoff, which with the last time he fought, he was still trying to do this mixed fighting. He lost to Silva, who was in his 40s, right? And then Silva. So yeah,
lost to Silva.
You can see
Silva won every round except for one, and they tried to rob Silva for it.
Well, you can see the writing on the wall, Drew. Two 38, 39-year-olds. Chavez Jr., the heaviest has ever been. Looking kind of gassed, but, just working off of basic boxing fundamentals, beating a former MMA fighter. He's on the card of Jake Paul. Guys, wake up. You know what's coming. Mike Tyson's not going to fight in November. Drew, Mike Tyson had an ulcer Like he's got some pretty serious health issues where he really at 58 years old does not. Is that how old he is? I think he's 58. He really doesn't need to be sanctioned to come back and fight.
To be honest, I don't think the fight should even happen. I think that if the fans should really push Jake Paul to want to fight a pro boxer and everything, and need to still and be consistent with fighting pro boxers. Stop getting guys from bare knuckle from MMA to fight you, dude. You want to take boxing seriously, but you're not taking the sport seriously whatsoever because you don't want to fight pro boxers. And when you did, you lost to Tommy Fury, and you got pro boxers that are like really nobodies.
Yeah, he recently before that fought a guy who had just come out of major retirement, but he was a pro boxer, but he was like a club guy, a club circuit fighter, and who had been coming off a long layoff in his late 30s. And I mean, it's the same result, Drew. But to hear the news that the WBA is potentially trying to see if it's a possibility that Chavez Jr. and Jake Paul could fight for a WBA belt, one that hasn't been specified. Obviously, they do have a WBA cruiserweight champion, and there's two really great cruiserweight champions. I mean, if you want to talk about a Mexican, Zurdo Ramirez. Hey, how about we let Chavez Jr. fight Zurdo Ramirez, and then if Zurdo wins, then he can fight Jake Paul. How about that? How about we see that
I'll be honest with you, I'm a fan by Tommy Nandorov for that stupid fucking statement he just made right now.
Oh, I didn't see it. By the way,
that stupid fucking statement.
By the way, guys, I do have the phone line open. I'm going to keep it for the first part. We're going to get right into that in just a moment. Clap back Monday. I think I'll give Drew right now the opportunity to voice because I made the thumbnail. We can go right into the thumbnail, Drew. As of last week, we didn't do a Thursday show. We kind of always like to do one. I like to do one at the end of the week. But listen, the fight between Tank Davis and Lomachenko, a super fight, a super unification fight in the most electrifying division right now, one of them, 135 lightweight. That matchup has fallen apart again. Top Rank and PBC were in serious talks to do the fight this November. It was almost a done deal. And then I hear via social media that Lomachenko has decided to take off the rest of 2024. And I didn't hear anything else. But today I'm hearing things that Turki Al-Sheikh is going to be partnering up and confirmed partnership with Golden Boy and Top Rank. And excuse me if I'm wrong, I don't know if Queensberry is in a partnership yet, but the last piece of the puzzle is PBC coming on board, even though he says they've already begun communication. Drew, I need to know why this fight fell apart. I'm going to invite the phone callers to call in if they want to argue with anything you have to say, if 1 hour clap back or chime in. Or ask a question, because you're telling me you've talked to some people, you've got some sources about why this fight fell apart. I think it makes perfect sense to me. And I'm wondering if Turki Al-Sheikh is going to be the guy to bring this fight together, because at the end of the day in negotiations, it's always about the money. So, Drew, what happened?
All right, so here's the thing. It came out that, the Eagles came out with that thing saying, oh, Loma's going to take the rest of the time year off and everything. And then the story that people are saying Loma ducked the tank. So something was telling me, a guy that was ducked for several years from that fighter Tank is supposedly now being the one ducking Loma and that Tank and everything. So I got a source. I want to say I got a source. I knew this guys for a long time, ever since my Periscope days, before I met Dave and everything. Those people, he talked to some people about it. I asked him, yo, do you have... I was just plain to ask, yo, what the fuck happened, really? Did he really just say, hey, I want to take the rest of the week off, or is there something behind this that they're not saying yet? Like, all this something, like, it just doesn't add up. So they said that, there was a meeting. There was negotiations right after Cambosis fight which was a couple months ago, the Kambosos fight. That's when it all started, after the Kambosos fight. And there was a lot of progress. There was a lot of progress that he wanted to fight Tank. That Tank really wanted to fight this time around. And it really came down to the fight was actually a done deal. Like, it was a couple of roadblocks, but they got through the roadblocks. Here's the thing. I was told that Tank's people really originally wanted the fight to be in Baltimore or Washington, D.C. Two places Tank is notoriously fights at and has big crowds at. Did not want the fight to happen in Vegas because supposedly that's where all the politics happens at.
Yeah, and that's the home base of Top Rank, obviously. So the first obstacle sounds like it was location, and it makes sense. Gervonta Tank Davis maybe perhaps concerned that if it did go to a decision, maybe he doesn't get the nod. I mean, that can happen in Vegas at any time. So Drew, the first one is location. What was the second obstacle?
So here's the thing. The thing was, they told him, hey, this is where you're gonna make the most money at in Vegas. This is where this fight's gonna make the most money at. So they agreed, hey, this is gonna happen. Okay, we agree, Vegas is cool. They're like, all right, this is cool. Then it went to rematch clause. Tank's team wanted a rematch clause. They said Loma doesn't get a rematch clause. And they're like, nah. If the one fighter gets a rematch clause, both fighters has to get rematches. They're both unified champions. They're both champions and everything. And it looked like, everybody compromised. They said no rematch clause. Whoever wins. There's no rematch whatsoever. So they said a pay-per-view and everything. And from what I was told, they went the money. And Loma was only offered $1.5 million.
All right.
They said that, no, we're going to come. Nah, we want a better offer. And Tank wanted $40 million. Wanted $40 million up front. And then after the fight, wanted another $5 to $10 million plus pay-per-view revenue. So they said, let's go back to the table. They went back to the table, see if they can get a better offer for Loma. The next offer was 2.5, no pay-per-view. Now, if we go through, here's the thing. Let's look at it like this. Who has the more backing, ESPN or Top Rank or PBC now when it comes to pay-per-view product production?
It's going to be pay-per-view. It's going to be Top Rank now, Drew, because like I said, they just, Turki Al-Sheikh on social media today announced that he has gotten into a partnership agreement with Top Rank. That means this fight, guys, don't lose hope, guys. I know, Nando said, that he's terribly disappointed in Lomachenko. Now, it doesn't mean this fight's not going to happen ever.
It's not.
It just means that at the moment right now for the rest of 2024, Tank's next opponent is not going to be Loma. We've already hit a major roadblock between two stars.
This fight's not going to do a million pay-per-view buys. Not going to do nowhere near it.
Let's ask the chat, guys. If you guys want to call in on that or at least drop your prediction, does Tank versus Loma do a million? Tank did more than a million with what's his name, Ryan Garcia. But Loma is the guy that boxing fans want to watch. Doesn't have that casual buzz. He is a star, but he's not like Devin Haney and him didn't break any records. I was at that fight. That pay-per-view didn't do a million, obviously.
But here's the thing. I'm not the only one that talked about this. I'm not the only one. I talked to somebody else that has sources. Those sources said the same shit. But here's the thing. Here's the kicker. They counted Tank. 30 million.
That's crazy.
Loma gets 10. You get $30 million. Loma gets 10. And the pay-per-view revenue, the split was 75-25 in Tank's favor.
That's essentially like a top tier opponent for Canelo Alvarez. The math just doesn't add up, guys. I've never seen. We just saw Tank Davis fight with David Benavidez as the co-main. David Benavidez is a main attraction. And even that, Drew, did not get anywhere near 1 million pay-per-view buys. So I don't know how you pay Tank $30 million as if he's on Canelo's level. I don't see how the fight makes sense financially, which is why at this point they've announced that the fight is off. But Drew, can you explain?
There's another thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
They talked to somebody from PBC, and PBC confirmed. That person from PBC confirmed with my source that the fight was not made basically due to money. So to look at it, this is Top Mike would have said something. These people are looking. Here's the thing. Why would a guy that has been ducked for 7 years and wants to fight the guy several years ago and 5 years ago and 2 years ago duck a dude now? And then here's the thing. Loma's contract, his minimum for a fight is $3.5 million. So you're going to pay him, you offer him below his minimum, below what you pay Frank Martin to fight Tank. Not give him pay-per-view. And then you guys want to believe that. Here's the thing. What I said, what the source told me today happened, the Excellency got involved and is now partner with Top Rank. And one of the things that they are talking about with him is to potentially make Lomachenko versus Tank Davis 2025 in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Because they can give Tank can make a hell of a lot more money. It will be a bigger event. Nobody can argue that they're not getting compensated. And tell you the truth, here's the thing. People want to believe that Loma's ducking Tank so bad because they hate Lomachenko. They do. And the thing about it is, they don't want to believe the answers because, tell you the truth, Tank has ducked so many people. Tank has weight-drained people. Tank has brought people up from lower weight classes. They lied about Tank's pay-per-view numbers multiple times. What? And the thing about it is, how I would not be saying this because I'm on the line. And the other person that I talked to told me his source said the same thing. Told him that who he talked to, they said the fight didn't happen because of money.
It's always about money.
And the thing about it is, why the fuck when they were tired of it? They said, you know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna take my break. I'm gonna enjoy my family. We'll come back in 2025, the first of 2025, and we're gonna try and make this fight happen. And the thing about it is, the fight is gonna happen next year. Because now the Saudis will be involved. And that's what Tank does not want. People do not want involved, the Saudis.
It's the only way he is going to get that kind of record money
and the thing
and
about
record payday.
And here's the thing about it. Tank don't want the Saudis involved because here's the thing. He overpriced himself. The Saudis will give him a hell of a lot more money. And what they're going to do, he didn't take two, and he got offered 2 fights, more than what he was going to make. More than what he was asking for at one fight. And then they won it.
Hey, Drew, I want to give a shout out to Matty Garcia in the chat. He says, I always thought it would have been a great fight between Loma and Tank because they both have great IQs. They have exceptional IQs, two of the best champions at 135. Drew, I just got to interrupt you really quickly, Drew. What happens to people waiting around for a title opportunity now? We saw that Oscar De La Hoya had this huge success on Thursday saying, Shakur, you're not for me. He put that on Clapback Thursday on social media, said, you're not for me. You're a great fighter, but not for me. And he said that Zepeda is the number one for all four sanctioning, and he has plenty of other choices. So obviously, the WBC has not ordered them to negotiate, not ordered them to do so. Usually they say, hey, you got to negotiate by this date or we go to purse bid, but they're not going to enforce it. It's BS, Oscar. So what happens now? Who does Gervonta Tank Davis look for as a busy opponent?
That's cap right there from Oscar. They did force it.
They did. They did. Do you have the purse date?
Purse bid. That's cap. That's cap. They're trying. Here's the thing. Oscar's trying to get the Tank fight for Zepeda. Now, the other thing is, why go for the Shakur fight? Because Shakur is likely going to vacate that belt. He is not going to fight you for pennies on a dollar. He's not. And to tell you the truth, nobody's going to pay no more than possibly $3 million for that fight, if that.
To
it's
Shakur.
To Shakur. For Shakur, get his favorite, 70-30. But here's the thing. Somebody's going to pay pennies on a dollar for that fight, and that's what they're going to make. Shakur's not going to want the fight, and he's going to vacate.
All right, well, what about Shakur? Now, okay, so we've got the landscape here. We know that Zepeda is ranked number one at 135 across all four sanctioning bodies. And the way it looks, Zepeda and Oscar do not want to fight Shakur Stevenson. It's probably going to be, it's a great fight stylistically, two completely opposing different styles of fighting, Drew. But if it doesn't make sense financially to everyone, that fight's not going to happen. So what about Shakur versus Tank Davis now? Both of them, Shakur a free agent. Shakur doesn't have anybody to fight. He's looking to unify titles. That'd be the biggest payday of his life. Does he join PBC?
Here's the issue. Shakur's not going to get a better off than what he got from Top Rank. And Top Rank, they flat out said, hey, you're not going to get no better offer. He actually joined Matchroom, Dave.
So he signed with Matchroom.
He actually signed with Matchroom, I'm hearing.
Yeah.
And here's the thing.
He's going to have to fight Andy Cruz.
That's the fight. That's one fight that's on that card. But if we look at it like this, he did not take that Top Rank deal. They had a game plan. They had a thing on there to how they were going to the fights that they were going to give him. Their goal was, we'll give you the Belichick fight for unification, and possibly we'll eventually give you, like, if you want, you can get Tank. We can try to get you Tank Davis, try to get you Lomachenko, try to get you Teofimo. Or if you want to move up and everything, they had this 3-fight deal for Shakur Stevenson, or that 5-fight deal for $15 million, making $3 million and everything. But Shakur thinks that he's too good for it and everything. He's worth a lot more money. He's not worth nothing. Here's the thing. Oscar does say one thing: I do not want to fight. I do not promote guys that do not care about pleasing the fans. That talks negative about boxing fans and everything. And let's look at it like this. If we look at it, the landscape, I do not think Tank and Shakur are going to fight. I think Shakur is not going to fight Tank Davis. I think the matchup will be for them to try to get Belichick and Shakur to do a unification belt. But I really think right now, Zumov is forcing a bid to happen with the WBC. So he's probably going to have to fight Zepeda, unless Zepeda pulls out, which I think would be stupid, because you put Shakur on the spot and everything, and if he doesn't want to fight for pennies on a dollar, you're fighting for a vacated belt. Or you're possibly getting a fight with Tank Davis in a 2-belt fight, making more money than you were going to make fighting Shakur Stevenson and everything. And you knock Shakur Stevenson out the title picture.
Right.
So if you look at it, it's a reverse psychology strategy, and He has no, like, Shakur's going to have no choice. He's going to have to do business with promoters, with promotions. He's going to have to. Like, what is his motivation about his move? He's overpricing himself. Top Ranked has done everything they can to promote Shakur Stevenson, and they have it fights in his hometown of Newark. And what happened? People in his hometown started walking out on his fights because they were so fucking bored. It's not even funny. So when you are not doing yourself any favors and your promoter any favors when they are spending the money to promote you and everything, and to try to make you a household name and everything, you fuck yourself, and that's it. And you deserve what you get. And I think the people that are really talking to him need to give him better advice and everything. And, like, yeah, people are saying he needs to let his hands go. Yes, the fuck he does. He has all the time in the world and everything. If he's not going to do that, then what are you boxing for? Like, what is your key? Like, get a quick million, and then it turns out to be 500,000, and then you have to give your manager or your promoter something, and you probably get like maybe 300,000 out of that after taxes and everything. Like, what's the end game with Shakur Stevenson? Nobody knows, because tell you the truth right now, let's look at this division. He probably beats Baranchek in a born fight. I don't think he beats Tank. I think Tank can cut the ring off and stop him. I think Loma stops him. I think Loma cuts the ring off and stops him too. I think really, if you look at it, Andy Cruz destroys him. With the limited amount of fights that you got under your belt, under his belt, Andy Cruz still got it.
Hey, Drew, at this moment, let me take a quick second here to remind everybody that likes are free. And if you don't mind hitting that like, make sure you subscribe to the Shoe Shine and hit that bell notification, guys. It is Clapback Monday. So you've been listening to Drew right now, and he's been voicing his opinion on this shenanigans between, making the big fight between Tank and Lomachenko. So I do have the phone line open if you want to clap back or ask Drew a question. 702-710-3627. Shout out to Sin City Syndicate. I see you in here. Shout out to everybody just joining us. Shout out to the SS Spider. And also, there was a great comment here by Matty Garcia that I forgot to mention, Drew. This is pretty good news that Robson Constanchao is going to be forced to rematch for that title that he just won against Oshaki Foster. So that is some bright news in what seems to be, the crookedest sport in the world, the sport of boxing. That is definitely good news. And again, the phone lines are open, 702-710-3627. Real quick, shout out to J-Dog Jimenez. I see you up in here, Dog. He says there's drama on his channel. Drama always sells, although I know it's not the best. But Drew, speaking of drama, real quick, off subject, man, have you been watching Receivers on Netflix?
No, like, tell you the truth, I'm going to be honest, all I watch on Netflix is anime.
Man, you haven't watched Receivers, guy? We're going to be coming back with Tailgate Talk on Shoe Shine Sports right here. Football season is coming. I've been binge watching the shit out of that. And that just reminded me how damn fucking good the 49ers season was. You got Kittle on that. You've got Devontae Adams of the Raiders. It's just a really good show, a really great series. It's got me pumped for football season coming around. Preseason is around the corner. And J-Dog was talking about drama. Devontae Adams is drama. That dude is drama, Drew.
How about your receiver, Dave?
Which one? Kittle? Kittle ain't no drama. Who?
Ayuk wants out.
Ayuk is gone. I thought Kittle wished him today. He said, Kittle on social media said, I hope you get the money you deserve, brother. I hope you do. You know what I'm saying? I thought he's already gone.
Yeah, he requesting a trade. They're not trying to trade him, but they're going to have to eventually trade him. Like, you don't want that distraction on your team.
Shout out to SB joining us and everybody that might be coming over from Urban AZ. I appreciate it, SB. Yes, we are on the verge of that. We're going to definitely have a celebration. Very excited. Been putting in the work over the years, and it should be it's a long time coming, but man, I'm very excited about that. Hey, Drew, I just wanted to get back to some of these other matchups that happened this weekend, if you guys want to call. But I did mention that in Stockton, California, Gabe Flores, Drew, he had a hard time. A lot of fighters that go on to Top Rank Top Rank thinks are going to be world champions. Sometimes things don't pan out. Obviously, he had some really brutal. He had a couple brutal beatdowns. One that came at the hands of the featherweight champion, El Venado Lopez. He's fighting in Stockton, building his fan base. He got 5,500 seats sold this weekend. He did fight a Venezuelan fighter that I think had at least 5 losses. So this is a guy, Gabe Flores, Drew, real quick, man. He's fighting at 135. Does he ever get back on top into contention? Or is he just going to be relegated to fighting guys with like 5, 6, 7 losses in his local market?
Yeah, I got to say this. I really got to say this. This is funny in this chat tonight, man. It's like having fucking Jehovah's Witnesses knocking on your fucking door, trying to ask you, do you believe in the kingdom of heaven? These motherfuckers in here.
Yeah, we got some characters up in here. But listen, it comes to the territory of going vertical. Shout out to Sin City Syndicate. He says, Jets need to go all the way in with Devontae. Yeah, man. Devontae's talking about playing with, what's his name again? He was willing to play with anybody but the quarterbacks from the Raiders. So I'm looking forward to that, Drew. So yeah, Gabe Flores, shout out to him. Junto Nakatani, man. Why is Junto Nakatani so important? Because if you like watching Bam Rodriguez, Jesse Bam Rodriguez, he should be on your pound-for-pound list. Boxer now at 115. Junto Nakatani is the biggest threat, aside from possibly fighting an old Chocolatito at 118, Drew. But this guy Nakatani, he trains in LA, guys. If you don't know who he is, he comes to LA. He's been training with Rudy Hernandez, a Chicano trainer. He has a Chicano trainer. He comes for every fight camp for over 14 years, I think now. He comes to LA to train and spar with the best. And he just knocks people out like in brutal. He knocked this guy out in 1 round. 1 round stoppage.
I think Junto Nakatani, man, if anybody beats Bam, it's Junto Nakatani.
That's if and when Bam's ready to move up. I know he's got a lot of business at 115. The height doesn't favor him, the southpaw. But hey, if he wants the baddest challenge, the problem is Junto Nakatani's already talking about moving up to 122 soon enough. He wants a fight with the biggest, baddest Japanese fighter in the world, Naoya Inoue, the monster. So 118 to 122, but the guy's 5'8", 5'9", so he's more than easily going to, break into that 122 physicality, man. He's got the height and reach to do it, Drew. This fight's going to be a super fight.
Yeah, he's got the physical look to climb the divisions in boxing. It's all about one thing. Power goes up with him. Like, that's how we got to look at it right now. And, like, if we see it, yeah, but I think that, I think if he wants Inoue, I don't know if that's going to happen, but we're going to see about that, But other than that,
Inoue will be taking an easy, what I call a stay busy fight. We talked about it on the roundtable last Thursday. And after that, he might fight that guy known as MJ Amakdeliov, who's a great fighter, who's probably a former world champion and probably one of the toughest fights he will have at 122 pounds. So for the time being, Junto Nakatani, that fight's not around the corner. It's even more likely that, maybe Jesse Bam Rodriguez will be ready for him next year. Maybe Jesse Bam Rodriguez will be moving up to 118 in 2025. Also, Drew, this weekend, you remember Alexis Rocha? He got his ass handed to him by San Diego's Giovanni Santillan. Everybody thought he was done with, but Oscar didn't give up on him. And Alexis Rocha fought free. I saw that shit on YouTube. He fights a fellow Mexican. And I think with the Indian Palms, one of these Indian casinos in Southern California in the Inland Empire, Drew. And he looked fantastic. This guy, the Mexican guy came out to fight, the guy from Mexico who fought Rocha. He came to fight, but I saw a lot of shit out of Rocha that I haven't seen. And obviously you didn't see that in the Santillan beatdown he suffered. Only then Santillan gets his ass whooped by Norman Jr., now the current WBO interim champion. But Rocha looks at 25-2, Drew, like he's not done. He ain't done, dog. He could still be a live player in this welterweight division.
Here's the thing with Rocha. You don't know what you're going to get out of Rocha. Seriously, that's a guy that you're not going to know what you get. Rocha may be that cringe contender, or he could be a major player. You just don't know. And part of it could be the division that he's in. Part of it that, fights that he should have won, he lost. Like Giovanni sent him, Giovanni, everybody pick Rocha to win that fight. But I didn't think he was going to win that fight. I thought Giovanni was going to beat the balls off him, and it happened. I said Rashidi Ellis was going to beat Rocha. It happened. He outboxed him for 12 rounds and everything.
Yeah, the welterweight division's kind of funny right now. Obviously, you should be ecstatic because at the top of the division is Boots Ennis from Philadelphia. But then you got all these guys at welterweight that have 1 or 2 losses, that have suffered beatdowns. Even Mario Barrios had a beatdown at 140 against Gervonta Tank Davis. You have Giovanni Santillan, who beat the brakes off of Alexis Rocha. Alexis Rocha looks fantastic again, using angles. Matty Garcia says Rocha was getting off the line in this fight. Then you even got guys like Blair Cobbs, who just, he put on a clinic against Adrian Broner for what that's worth. There's a bunch of guys at 147 that the division is open, dog.
If you look at it, man, Adrian Broner does not let his hands go. And like anybody nowadays can be Adrian Broner. It's just like everybody should have known Blair Cobbs to win that fight. It's just Adrian Broner's not Adrian Broner, when you put him in a fight, he doesn't never in his career let his hands go. It's not like this that he just got, oh no, he never done it. Because he thought he never had to do it because he was more physically talented than the other fighter that he was fighting. And when he moved up in the higher weight class and everything, these guys are stronger. These guys packed a punch and everything that could do a number on Adrian Broner. He just didn't think he had to let his hands go. I think it's more of a mental thing with Adrian Broner than a physical thing, unfortunately. Like, that dude had a lot of potential to be great, Adrian Broner, and he just let it slip all away and everything. And like his personal life got into the way of it too. So now he's in the position where he's at, fighting for Don King, taking the pennies on the dollar. Come on, let's be honest. Did you ever think he made money off Don King? Fuck no.
Yeah, people don't even know if you get paid when you do these Don King shows.
Like, it's like, and then you're fighting in fucking bingo halls or low-weight fucking casinos that don't have a lot of business or small shit. But if we look at it like this, like,
I hate to say it, Drew, but Pro Box looks better. Pro Box has most of their fights in Florida. You guys can check it out on YouTube. But all the venues Pro Box does look better than the last fight where Blair Cobbs beat. I mean, that did look like some kind of high school auditorium. It was a rundown auditorium.
I look at it like this. I've been doing a lot of thinking for the past month about shit. And like I just look and like I'll be honest. This sport is on a major decline. Really fucking is.
Oh, now you're losing your. If you guys haven't noticed, the 3 years we've been on YouTube, and we used to be on a different platform, Drew, there's been a steady decline of enthusiasm from not only me, because I think it's obvious with me, with both of us, man. It's hard to be an American fan of the sport of boxing. It's not so hard, I guess, for people in other countries, particularly the UK or Australia, but it's hard here.
It's passion. Overseas, it's passion. They're passionate. Unfortunately, like a lot of them speak stupid shit, but they're passionate.
Yeah.
Like, and the fucked up thing about it is, like, having a debate or just talking boxing. Be honest with you, starting to get burnt the fuck out doing it.
But like I said, man, football season is around the corner, Drew, and hopefully
like if you look at it like this, Dave, look at it like this. American fans are the reason why, like the fans are the reason why the sport of boxing is on the decline. And the thing about it is, and guys, this is a serious conversation. This is a serious talk, and I'm being dead. I'm keeping it 100 and everything. When you got people fucking on this platform bringing up race in a boxing conversation, and that's all they fucking do is bring up race or in a boxing debate and everything, man, that's not like spitting facts. That's hatred, man. That's fucking hatred.
I agree,
That's
Drew.
fucking showing you don't know shit about the sport of boxing. It just shows you have a hate. You have hate in your heart. And it's fucked up, man. Like, how can you live with yourself going on YouTube with 100 people watching you live, calling your own race, somebody from your own race, for supporting somebody from another race, a racial slur, and be on this platform still? And be so fucking to talk about the dude's family and everything, man.
Damn.
And then say another racist slur.
Drew, the thing about YouTube is that I was watching one of my favorite YouTubers that I watch. I won't say his name, but he was saying the platform YouTube does not, they don't reward talent. They reward popularity. And on this platform too, they reward drama. Drama is rewarded. If you're in drama, people will tune in. They just love the chisme. Yeah.
Did you know what? When you got dumb motherfuckers donating their hard-earned money to these people,
damn,
to give them a reason to sit on their fucking ass, spend lying ass shit, racist rants about a sport, and thinking they're gonna get content over it and everything, that's sad. And YouTube and people don't even report this shit. They get these people off the platform because why do we have to talk about race when it comes to boxing? And why can we just talk about the boxer, the fighter, the fight, how it goes and everything? Oh, if he was this, I don't give a fuck about the color of anybody's skin. To me, I don't see color. I don't see race. I see everybody created, all men are created equal. That was explained. That was already explained years ago about that. And it's fucked up that people want to bring that shit up all the time when it comes to a boxing conversation, because they need to realize if you're going to bring that up in a conversation away, talking about race during a boxing conversation, you don't know shit about the sport of boxing. You shouldn't be talking about boxing. And God forbid you had a bad experience or something that made you act like this, or you just think you're superior and everything. It's sad. It's a sad fucking world. And imagine like if young people have to watch that shit and they think this is how I make money, and how to make money and everything. And let's look at it like this. These promoters buy into it and everything because they got support system and everything. Let's look at it like this. Boxing in the United States would not be existing in the next 5 years. You want to know why? Because people do not care about buying pay-per-views where they can go online. They can go online to websites and watch them for free, or get Fire Sticks and watch them for free, because when the promoter doesn't care, because knowing that the fans are stupid, and they say oh, they support them and everything. Let's put it out there. Half of them, a lot of them don't.
Drew, today I was thinking about on your point about pay-per-views. Today I was thinking about, okay, Turki Al-Sheikh is announcing these major partnership deals with Top Rank. Oscar De La Hoya on Thursday said he had heard nothing about it. All of a sudden today, Turki Al-Sheikh puts out a press statement saying he has finalized a deal with Oscar De La Hoya. But all this is because he wants to just buy them all and create his own NFL, his own MLB, just one place where all the boxers are going to come out of, all the best boxers are going to fight, and they're going to be forced to fight each other. And today I was thinking, yeah, but you know what? Tank Davis asking for $40 million to fight Loma. Why would any of these major stars in boxing like Canelo even entertain being under contract with someone like Turki Al-Sheikh? And then I realized the Dodgers paid Ohtani $700+ million, knowing he's not going to be viable for the entirety of his contract. In fact, there's baseball players I hear about. I was on social media and I've read about a player, I forget his name, I think it was Bobby Bonilla, who still gets paid. He's still on payroll. So is it possible? Can you put a Canelo Alvarez or a Tank into a league? Well, if they've got unlimited money, if the Dodgers can pay Ohtani, maybe they could. And guess what, guys? We don't pay to watch baseball. You don't got to go on pay-per-view to watch baseball. There's no way. You're watching that shit on your local TV channel every day. So maybe there is possibility for something like that. Or maybe just a partnership is going to help bring these matches, these matchups that should be happening naturally and organically, like Loma versus Tank, two of the best fighters. And now now the negotiations fall apart. Maybe it is possible for a league. It's
like this. American boxing is turned into the cruiserweight division in North America.
If you guys don't follow, if you guys are casual boxing fans, it's one of the least watched. If it wasn't for the fact that we have the guy from Australia, Opatai.
It's more watched in Europe than it is there. Cruiserweight's more popular in Europe because mostly the champions are Eastern European or something. But
well, Drew, let's segue into this because I know you got to go. We got 10 minutes left. But this weekend we saw a highly profitable pay-per-view that was supposed to be between a cruiserweight and Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, the former heavyweight champion, one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. And we saw a guy who's basically a prospect. Jake Paul is a boxing prospect who's committed his life. He came from YouTube. He came from the entertainment industry and whatnot. He's dedicated his past 3 years of his life. Also become a promoter. He has Amanda Serrano as his co-main attraction. He's bringing real boxers. In fact, Drew, our friend Lucas Badi, who's managed by Phil LaGreco, a former fighter, Phil LaGreco. You guys may remember he fought Errol Spence and Amir Khan and whatnot. If it wasn't for Jake Paul, we could, and DAZN, we might not have even have heard of Lucas Badi this weekend. At the same time, Timothy Bradley today said, you know what? Jake Paul's not good for boxing. That was his argument. He's not good for boxing. And his reason is because it dumbs down the amount of new people that come into the sport that are casual fans that don't know the sport, that, it dumbs down the playing field. It just dumbs down the entire thing where now all of a sudden people that just started watching boxing last year and then they only watched 3 or 4 fights when Jake Paul fight, they're in the conversation at the fucking water cooler. All of a sudden they got an opinion. Oh yeah, I know, I watched that fight. Well, I'm glad. In some ways, I'm glad. I'm glad to see Amanda Serrano active, getting big paychecks. I'm glad that our friend Lucas Badi has the knock. I'm going to put this fucking picture up, dude. Because Lucas Badi couldn't even come to America during the pandemic. All knockouts. You got H2O Silva, who arguably, Drew, is this kid, H2O Silva, 20 years old from Southern California. He's supposed to be as good as potentially as Abdullah Mason, top ranks prospect. He's supposed to be as good as Schofield, who I saw fight. Is that how I say it? I sat next to his mama, Schofield, top rank fighter. Oh no, Oscar De La Hoya has him. Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me, Oscar De La Hoya. He's supposed to be on that level. And Lucas Badi, in the biggest platform and biggest fight of his life, he had the Hollywood ending. Knockout of the year. You never stop believing in yourself, Drew. That's what makes the sport great. That's why I stick around this fucking sport. That's why when we struggle on YouTube and we don't have the numbers or our podcast ain't taking off, and then I see moments like this, like, damn, I've known this guy for 3 years. I've been following his story, and he finally rose to the occasion, and he got his shine and went viral. That's why I still do this show. That's why I still do this show. That's why I still do this show. And I'll follow him if he gets a championship opportunity. You fucking never know. Tank Davis might have seen that knockout and I said, okay, well, I need somebody to fight. I've seen Tank Davis take on lesser guys. I mean, I need somebody to fight.
he's going to have a huge opportunity coming to his way.
The phones, I'm sure, Drew, if I have not talked to Phil yet, but I'm sure the phones are ringing for that guy just because of that. That knockout went kind of viral. He went trending on that. And what better way to get introduced to the larger boxing audience, even if it is the casual fans that watch Jake Paul. Drew, your thoughts on because I know you got to go, man. But your thoughts on Jake Paul fighting the bare knuckle champion 5-0. I guess in bare knuckles, his fights have been really entertaining, Drew.
But here's the problem: the dude fights at 170.
He came up 30 pounds, and it was evident
He's a fucking
size.
Jake Paul weight bully these motherfuckers. That's what he does. So fuck Jake Paul. I don't give a fuck. Let's talk about Lucas. Fuck Jake Paul. Because you're gonna look at it like this. This kid got his moment. And he was there to take a beating. He was there to fucking get beat by this young kid, and he exposed this young kid, and he KO'd this fucking young kid. He put him the fuck to sleep on his fucking face, and it feels good now because it was one of Jake Paul's prospects that it happened to. So let's look at it like this. That kid deserves a bigger opportunity now.
Okay, you're talking about Lucas Badi.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, absolutely.
And I hope, Phil, if you're watching this, man, but make sure that kid gets a big opportunity. He deserves it. That kid's undefeated.
And the money too. And the
money. That kid's could be a problem in 2 years. That kid could be a problem.
Yeah, he'll be about 32, guys. I just on that Lucas Body, he was on the obviously the main event there, the pay-per-view portion of the Jake Paul fight, and he was featured here on the Shoe Shine. The interview is there, guys. The interview is there. I will address this question in just a second, Drew. He really needs. If you guys, you guys noticed that he was outboxed. He was getting outworked by the much younger, faster twitch opponent, obviously. Yeah. But this is, I mean, guys, you got to understand that there's a lot of UFC fighters coming out of the Niagara Falls region. And so because of the traveling out of Canada for training camps and whatnot, he's not getting the level of sparring that you would get in Los Angeles or in Las Vegas. So, and sometimes you might even be sparring against professional MMA fighters from the UFC or other leagues. He is now fighting at a world-class level, fighting guys like that. And he just showed that, it's never over till it's over. Power can change a fight like that. And Arturo Gatti was Canadian, Italian. I think Lucas Badi is part Italian. We could be seeing the next type Arturo Gatti.
I think he's Romanian.
Yeah, we could be seeing the next Arturo Gatti type fighter out of Canada, the kind of guy that's down in a fight and then just comes back. That's always exciting for the sport of boxing, Drew. But go ahead.
Here's the thing that killed that fight for that kid, for H2O. He did the same shit. And what happens when you do the same shit? A guy gets used to your pattern.
Yep, timing. Timing. You said it all the time. Timing beats speed, and the kid Silva had plenty of speed, but eventually you got timed. He got timed by somebody with a pretty good ring IQ, and was like, you kept saying that he was waiting for that big shot, but he did get that big shot. Shout out to everybody joining us, guys. I know. Shout out to King. Here he's talking about Madrimov is going to stop Crawford. I appreciate you being on that. We're going to go deep. We're going to go deep next Monday into that card. Obviously, Riyadh season's coming to Los Angeles. Our friend of the show, Nando, will be attending that. That's going to be a fantastic fight. It's going to be very competitive. And Madrimov is very strong.
I think Crawford wins by decision. I think Madrimov is going to be a game opponent, but I think, he had a heavy amateur experience and everything, but I think Crawford pulls out a decision on this fight. I think Madrimov is going to put up a good fight and everything. I just think Crawford's going to dig deep and win the fight.
Yeah,
I think
Madrimov has. Drew, he's a beast. He's only beat one to win that vacant title. He's only really beat one top tier or fringe contender at that division. That division is the hottest division in boxing right now. You got guys like Tim Tszyu, Ramos Jr., Lubin, Bohacek, you've got the Towering Inferno, you got Terrence Crawford now. He hasn't really fought like professionally the level of opposition or even just have the professional ring experience that Terrence Crawford has. And that's always valuable. It's not like Terrence Crawford is a washed up 35-year-old. I'm very excited about that matchup. We will be talking about it. Real quick, what about Amanda Serrano, Drew? She got rid of her opponent in 2 rounds, but it seems that she doesn't want anything to do with the young Sky Nicholson. She's that girl was trash that she fought.
She's been fighting since after she fought Katie Taylor was pushovers. I'm sorry, I'm not really entertained to watch Amanda Serrano fight. I'm sorry, she's cute, but I'm not entertained to watch her fight. And if it's just too many pushovers, man, and a lot of people see that shit, and like tell you the truth, I don't think she's won the 7th division world champion. Okay, but here's the thing. I think the greatest women boxer of all time is Cecilia Brækhus. And if we look at it, those higher weight classes, they ain't competitive at all, to tell you the truth. There's not really a lot of fighters in those divisions. And a lot of them that are in that division, those higher weight classes are under 500. So you can't give Carissa Shields her due either, because would she go down and beat Brækhus at Brækhus' rate? I don't think so. Would she go down and beat Katie Taylor at Katie Taylor's rate? And you don't know. And tell you the truth, you could arguably say that the Savannah Marshall fight was a draw and everything. It was a lot closer when people have it, but it was a draw on some people's cards. I had it a draw.
What? The SS Spider Serrano is cute. Who said, Drew, did you say she was cute?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, I realized. But
even Canelo had the little, he seemed to be all into Sky Nicholson, but Sky Nicholson can't get the attention of Serrano. Is Serrano worried about potentially losing? So, and then to lose to the younger fighter?
Wants to fight him.
Who?
Alicia Bogota wants to fight Serrano.
Man, there's some good names out there, but at the moment, it just seems like she's only focused on the Katie Taylor matchup.
I don't think she wins that fight. Especially if it takes place in Ireland, she won't get a decision.
Yeah, Drew, I know you said you had to go early. Hey, shout out to our boy Wiley Coyote. Thank you for being here. Man, it was a hell of a weekend. We do got some upcoming boxing this weekend, but obviously all eyes are going to be on the return of Terrence Crawford, August the 3rd.
Okay, we should talk about something real quick.
Okay, go ahead, because I have the exit music going.
We're possibly going to be over 1,000 subs after the night. We're at 969.
That'd be great, but I'm not counting on it. We need watch hours, guys. Even though I'm up at 1,000 subs, I don't know what YouTube is doing to us, man. A lot of you guys only watch for 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, or it's kind of embarrassing, but I'm short some watch hours to get fully monetized. So if you got a laptop or a TV and you really want to help us out, man, if you love and support the show, just leave it on my channel and let it play for a few hours, and boom, we're in business, full monetization, guys.
Comment on the fucking videos, exactly. I have not seen comments in the last couple of fucking weeks.
Let's drop some comments. Let us know what your thoughts are. Most definitely, Drew. Did you want to talk about some of these upcoming fights? Because this weekend is a rematch between Joe Joyce and Derek Washed Up Chisora.
If Joyce can't get Chisora out of there in 6 rounds, he has no business fighting again.
And also, speaking of women's boxing, the return of the self-proclaimed greatest of all time female boxer, Clarissa Shields, at light heavyweight. Drew, she's going up in weight. She's like talking about at the upper echelon of women's boxing.
Tell you the truth, Dave, I could care less. Those weight classes of the upper echelon of the women's boxing don't really have a lot of people in them, and a lot of them are mostly under 500, so I can give a rat's ass.
Yeah, so because it is at light heavyweight and it's a new weight class for her, she'll be going for that 10 pounds. What is that? The WBC. She's got the heavyweight. It says heavyweight title or light heavyweight.
It's heavyweight.
Damn, it's for a WBC heavyweight title, vacant WO light heavyweight title, and vacant interim WBA light heavyweight title. How's all these belts? man, she's going to be thicker than a Snicker, Clarissa Shields, because she's going up that much in weight. So she should be looking pretty strong at that weight. We also got Mikel Rivera. Remember him? He says he's a player now, super lightweight at 140 pounds. He'll be on the undercard of that. And Ergashev, super lightweight, also will be on that. He's somebody interested that I might be interested in watching. That takes place in Detroit, Michigan. You got that. What's cracking on ESPN Plus, the Joe Joyce, Derek Chisora heavyweight rematch. That's during the daytime. And you know what? I'm going to finish binge watching that Receivers on Netflix, Drew. And I think you should get started on it too.
I don't know, man. I'm going to probably do OT and make my money.
I heard that. It's all about making money, guys. Yeah. Drew and I are close to that 1,000. We'll be making some big announcements. We should have some fun activities, maybe some giveaways for that when that does take place. Maybe it'll happen next week or the week after that. We'll see. Don't forget to drop a comment, hit that like from all your burner accounts. Drop a like on that, and we should be back on this channel next Monday for sure. We're going to do some deep coverage of the big Riyadh season coming to Los Angeles. And actually, make sure you hit that notification, because I'm going to try to get Phil LaGreco, the manager of Lucas Badi, on here. Maybe it'll just be randomly when he's free. I'll be putting an interview together with him shortly. So, all right, Drew, any final thoughts on this weekend in the sport of boxing?
Not off the top of my head, Dave.
Cool. All right. Well, it's all good, man. I appreciate everybody that's tuned into the show. We'll be back at it next Monday. Like I said, make sure you watch the channel, because I might have an interview coming up this week. Until then, peace out, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us.